clinician and the chief consultant in the Department of Indian Railway. He's actively involved since beginning. I know him for the last 25 years. He's a very dynamic personality and rich in the academics also, as well as in the profession in the railway medical services. I will request and invite Dr. Jain to kindly proceed for that.
This is the forward.
Greetings to all the delegates and the organizers and the chairperson of this session. This session throws an important message that money matters can never be neglected. And if you neglect finance, I'm not talking about accounts, if you neglect finance, you're neglecting your sustainability. And by virtue of that, you're neglecting the safety and security of your organization. So in this session, the focus shall be on India. And as you know, India today is at the cusp of a revolution in the healthcare sector. Revolution not because the manpower is transforming or the institutions are transforming, but because the entire landscape for investment in the health sector is changing, and changing very, very fast. So to begin with, in this slide, what you are seeing is the landscape of healthcare sector in India, of which hospitals are the major portion, pharmaceuticals, diagnostics, medical equipment supplies, medical insurance, and telemedicine all comprise the entire landscape. And the major focus comes to the hospitals. So if you talk of financing hospitals, never neglect the other sectors which ultimately impinge on the financial viability of the hospital sector. This is the first message of this slide. And if you look how important the components listed on the blue are, you will understand that it is essential for every one of us to not think of hospitals as an isolated institution. It's part of the entire healthcare landscape and larger economic structure of the country. This is the growth trends in India's healthcare sector. What do you observe? A phenomenon has started, and it has just begun. If you had fine eyes, you will also observe the inflection point was in 2015, and then suddenly you found exponential growth in India's healthcare sector. Each one of us is a witness and a beneficiary, and the younger lot in the audience shall be the biggest beneficiary in the years to come. This is only the reality of yesterday and today. The future is to be written by all of you. This is the graph showing direct jobs in India's healthcare sector from 2017 on the left to 2022 on the right. And what do you observe? Again, a phenomenal increase. Never seen in the last 70 years before 2017. And all of you are part of that phenomenal increase. And it includes doctors, specialists, dentists, nurses and midwives, pharmacists, allied healthcare professionals, everybody. And in each component, subcomponent, you find substantial increase. It's not a small observation. These are facts. Now, those were the basis. You find substantial change in the environment. How environment changes, as I was saying earlier, never consider hospital as an isolated entity in the healthcare sector. It's one component. It is just one component. So, hospitals cannot be separated from diagnostic centers, and together they cannot be separated from drugs and pharmaceuticals and medical and surgical appliances. Together they form one ecosystem. And you find in the last 20 years, foreign direct investment to the tune of 25,357 US dollars in millions. This has never happened before that, before 2000. These are the few select private equity deals in the healthcare industry over the last few years. And you find on the second column is money. This much money has come to India for development of the hospital sector specifically. Radiant Life Care, 200 million US dollars in hospital, KKR invested. Condis Healthcare, 200 on the hospital sector, India Value Fund. Manipur Health Enterprise, 171 million US dollars, hospital Temasek. Max Healthcare Institute, 75 million US dollars. IFC, Paras Healthcare, 43 million US dollars, hospitals and Credor Capital. Healthcare at Home, 40 million US dollars. Quadria Capital invested. Portia Medical, 26 million US dollars. IFC, Excel India, Sabre Capital, Qualcomm Ventures, and CDC MEMG. What does it indicate? It indicates broad basing of the finance stream in India's healthcare sector. Could you imagine this 10 years back? None could have imagined that we shall be able to attract the investors who want return, who evaluate all the projects on the terms of profit on their investment. So broad basing of the hospital sector, equitable distribution of hospital sector had begun already. As I said, the environment for investment in the hospital sector is key. The environment changes. And the hospitals come up in thousands across the length and breadth of this country. And not only hospitals, because hospitals are dependent on pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and diagnostic centers. So you have automatic 100% construction of hospitals allowed. It was never so. These are path-breaking changes in the policy. 100% for healthcare greenfield, healthcare brownfield up to 74% for automatic, and government up to 74%. Medical devices up 100% automatic approval. If somebody from US, somebody from Europe wants to come and invest money, no approval required whatsoever. He can come and find a partner and invest. Biotechnology up to 74%, biotechnology greenfield 100%, pharmaceutical brownfield 74%, pharmaceuticals greenfield 100%, insurance intermediaries 100%. It's a revolution. Unbelievable figures. Medical infrastructure, 582 opportunities, worth 32.16 billion US dollars. Pharma, biotech, and life sciences, 81 opportunities, worth 364.37 million US dollars. These are hard facts. And many students of hospital administration may not be aware of these facts. But these are the foundations on which your future shall be built. So prepare. This slide, in 3 paragraphs, focuses on what hospitals are for the healthcare sector and how they are going to be transformed from metropolitan city focused hospital changed to tier 2 and tier 3 and tier 4 and tier 5 towns and half village, half urban localities across the length and breadth of the country in the years to come. So, picture is bright, is going to be brighter tomorrow because of the ecosystem that has come about in the last 10 years. The base is made for public money to be invested for the growth of hospital sector in a big way. And big does not mean metropolitan cities. Big means real big, because real big in India means tier 2, tier 3 towns. It is not tier 1 towns. So the degree of Masters in Hospital Administration has now to prepare to deliver what is expected by the country from them. And I'll show you how that is going to happen. Demand side. Demand side has transformed. There is a huge untapped demand which was not being met earlier. Now people want to utilize the hospital services. So if you push from the bottom, it will deliver. So you will have the money. It is not the hospitals which become viable because of money. Hospitals become viable because they provide the services to the people whom they serve. So you cannot separate the population from the requirement that they have to be met with. This is the amount of money that is available to be invested. 600 investment opportunities worth $32 billion US. Stressed assets are an opportunity. Wherever somebody is not able to run a hospital efficiently, they are stressed. It's the biggest opportunity for investment. You chip in and run the show. That's your skill as a hospital manager. Any sick industry is a big opportunity today in the health sector, hospital sector. Just grab it and you can develop it if you have the mindset of a true hospital administrator. Imports and exports of India's pharmaceutical sector is mentioned here. How it has been increasing, and thanks to pandemic, we are growing faster than we could ever imagine before the pandemic. This is the incentive which Government of India is giving out of people's money. Government is willing to pay to the companies which manufacture drugs in India. It was never so in the past. The productivity link in PLI incentive scheme has been started. This is the scheme for promotion of domestic manufacturing of pharmaceutical products. And huge list is there on category 1, category 2 and category 3. Category 2 is so important. We were 85% dependent on China. And that is the biggest opportunity India has today. And any industry which invests in APIs is going to build hospitals. I don't know how many people know that the pharmaceutical sector is building the largest number of hospitals today. The people who are earning money out of pharmaceuticals are building hospitals now. Another opportunity in India is imports and exports of India's medical devices. If you see medical devices, we were and we are import dependent. That is going to change because the landscape of regulation is changing faster than we ever expect. This is the range and these are the segments of medical devices. It is getting further broad-based, and the hospital sector is dependent on development of medical devices sector. It's become more cost efficient. You become more able to deliver reasonable cost care to tier 2, tier 3 towns with reasonable satisfaction, which you were not able to do earlier because you were importing everything. This is the scheme of Atmanirbhar Bharat package for boosting domestic manufacturing of medical devices. Another path-breaking policy change which has happened during the pandemic. It all happened when people were struggling with the pandemic. So COVID was a big opportunity. This is the medical value travel. Medical tourism today can lead to establishment, growth, and sustainable hospital care today in India. There are hospitals which only focus on medical tourism, nothing else. 95% patients are outside India countries. In India, around Delhi, around Bangalore, around Mumbai, there are hospitals functioning today. 95% patients only out of the country. This is the prices of common medical procedures across major destinations. And in India, look at the prices. Look at the prices. Is it not shocking how efficient we are? It is an opportunity. Look at other countries, what they charge, and they're not far off from India. Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Turkey, South Korea. We are number 1 in quality at reasonable cost. And very reasonable cost. So if you focus on this area, you're going to survive and grow. And the profit that you earn, invest in further growth of the hospitals. Telemedicine. This is the market size. And on the bottom, if you see how graph changes, it goes zoom, exponential, 22, 23, 24, 25. Can you believe it? And it all happened during pandemic. And because of the pandemic. Today in the session that preceded this session, people from US and people from other parts of the country were speaking live, and you were listening as if the person was here. Virtual reality, AI, ML is going to take place in a big way because of 5G penetration, which is going to be launched from next month itself. This is how India accessed healthcare during 1st March and 31st May 2020. And this is pandemic beginning. Digital healthcare emerged as a viable alternative to traditional delivery models. So you cannot neglect alternative models of delivery of hospital services. And I did not talk about home care. Hospital care combined with home care is a killer proposition today. Investment in home care or chronic care, because our age profile is going to change, is a worthwhile proposition. And hospitals cannot sit in isolation of the home care or the chronic care. Money follows where the mind is free, and the hospitals are the biggest place where the flow of money in the society is reflected. Public money, private money is now coming together and helping the hospital sector to grow exponentially in India today, tomorrow, and the years thereafter. So travel this journey together with all of us and make it more safe and more sustainable. In the end, I will say attention is the rarest and purest form of generosity, and I must thank for your generosity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jain, for your nice presentation and educative talk. Ladies and gentlemen, there is an announcement, and I beg my apology to break the session at this particular point, because the inauguration program, the ceremony will start at 12 o'clock, and this particular session will continue immediately after the lunch, that is exactly at 2 p.m.